Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call the Thursday, April 10th, 2025 full board to order. First item is Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next is Invocation by Commissioner Lucido.
Dear God, we are thankful for all the gifts that you have given us. Please help us all to use our talents and treasures we possess to benefit our communities. Let us all work together to make the choices that will benefit all of Macomb County. Help us work together towards the same goals, even if we travel down different paths. May we all take a moment to pray for all of those in northern part of the state who still don't have power. It is in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Next is adoption of agenda. I need a motion to adopt.
Support.
Moved by Romano, supported by Grot. Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Okay, next is approval of minutes dated March 13th, 2025, and closed session minutes. Need a motion to approve.
Support.
Moved by Goyke, supported by VanSyckel. Any changes to the minutes? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Okay, next is public participation. This is the first opportunity for public participation for those who would like to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes on an item which is on today's agenda. There'll also be a second opportunity for public participation for those who would like to speak on any issue. Would anyone from the public like to speak? Agenda items only. Going once, twice. We'll close public participation. Next will be appointments. I'll take a motion to concur with 7A through 7C. So moved. Moved by Haas, supported by Romano. Those items are the Older Adult Advisory Committee. This is a board chair appointment at large for Meghan Mott. Second is SEMCOG appointment. This is executive appointment with board concur for Commissioner Sylwia Grot. And the third is also SEMCOG appointment, executive appointment, reappointment for Commissioner VanSyckel. Is there any discussion on these items? Seeing no discussion, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Okay, next is proclamations. I'll take a motion to adopt 8A through 8D.
So moved.
Moved by Wallace, supported by Romano. Are there any questions on these proclamations? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Okay, the first proclamation is honoring Warren Police Officer Jacob Brooklier for saving the life of a child. Commissioner Howard, you're presenting this.
Thanks, Chair and the board. We have a proclamation. I won't read all of it, but as a young father, I have 3 kids, a 7, 5, and a 3-year-old. And I remember one moment when my daughter was sleeping and I couldn't tell whether she was breathing or not. And just that sheer panic of moment, she was perfectly fine. But that panic as a parent to struggle whether your child is breathing or not can always terrify you. But you answered the call. There was a moment at a Warren hotel where someone shout, "Stop breathing." and Officer Brooklier was already there on call and answered, stayed calm, stayed ready, and was able to save the child's life before the first responders actually got there, because praise God, he was already there. And so just want to thank you for your service, recognize that the heart of being an officer is protecting and serving, always answering the call, and we just appreciate you for doing that. So thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
You want to?
I'm just honored to be here. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support, and you know that's what I signed up to do, is assist the community and do my job. Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You guys mind walking?
And Jacob, I just want to say hi. My name's Lisa Bueno. I'm Kennedy's mom.
Yep.
And you went to school with her a long, long
Yep.
time ago.
And I'm Commissioner Lucido. I also court for one.
Sorry.
You guys mind?
Absolutely. Yeah, here, I'm gonna go. I'll try to even it out.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for your hard work.
Okay, our next proclamation is recognizing the second week in April as National Public Safety Telecommuters Week. Commissioner Hall, you'll be presenting this proclamation.
All of them? And there's been getting surrounded. Come on up.
Angie was hiding back there. Come on, Angie.
I thought,
You're hiding back there.
I thought you were all here to get Commissioner Romano. But guess not. Okay, this is the proclamation for the National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. I'm not gonna read all of this, but I do wanna let you know, we know the importance of everything that all of you do. You're the first line of saving people's lives, and how greatly we appreciate what you do. So on behalf of the chairman and the commissioners, you don't need that. I'd like to present that to you, and please say.
Thank you. Thank you, commissioners, very much. We much appreciate the recognition of the hard work that these professionals do on a daily basis. I know it means a lot to us to have that support, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our next proclamation is actually going to be presented at a future event by Commissioner Howard. This is a proclamation honoring Detroit Memorial Park Cemetery on their 100th anniversary, and also Commissioner Bueno on this, so they'll be presenting that at a later date. And then also we have a proclamation recognizing May as Mental Health Awareness Month. This will also be presented on another day by Commissioner Kraft and by Commissioner Wallace. Okay, next item is, these are items that are waived to full board. Item 9A, waived by Government Oversight Committee Chair. This is a proclamation acknowledging the history of the Women's Lawyers Association of Michigan and honoring Tanya Grillo as its president for 2025. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support, Perna.
Moved by Haas, supported by Romano. Any questions on this item? Seeing none, please vote.
Commissioner Hall, the system didn't capture your vote. If you'd like to voice vote, I can add it. Thank you. Motion passes 11-0.
And I know we have Judge Jokic here. I'm going to be handing this off to her. She's actually going to say a few words, but she's actually going to be presenting this proclamation at the event. So, Judge, I'll hand this off to you. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your support in this issue. This is, I think, the second time in the 107 years women lawyers have had a president from Macomb County. We're holding our annual meeting here at the Italian Cultural Center, and your staff was just wonderful in helping me put this together on behalf of the county. I'm going to give it to the Macomb Chair of the Women Lawyers to present, and I so thank you very much for making this happen. Thank you, Mr.
Absolutely.
Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, next is waived by our Finance Audit Budget Committee Chair due to statutory deadline. This is the 2025 Macomb County Equalization Report. I need a motion to approve.
Support.
By Wallace, supported by VanSyckel, and Kristen is here to talk about the good news.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here. As most of you know, some of you are new, so you don't know, this is my absolute favorite day of the year. My staff and all of the assessing units, every city, every township in the county have been working very hard to get these numbers together for you and for all of the residents of the county. And so my job as the equalization director is to present these to you in a report format. So there's a lot of information here. There's a lot of stuff to go through, and I'm obviously not going to do that. You guys have a really long agenda today. But there are a few pages that I always like to point out that I find interesting, because the rest is just a bunch of numbers. So on page 5 of my report, which I believe is 43 of your agenda packet, is the comparison graph, line graph of the state equalized value versus the taxable value. And I always find this to be real interesting because it gives us a picture of where we were back in 2007 and then where we are today. So it shows when we crashed in 8 and how the values came right even with each other, and then how we've started to see a little bit of disparity. It's a little bit more than a little bit of disparity, but that's what we have with Proposal A. So I just like to see that the values are increasing. We are well beyond where we were at our highest point back before the crash began in 2008. And so that's a good sign. We're coming back around. So that's the first page. The next page that I like to point out is on page 40. This is, which is 78, I think, in your packet. This is the summary of the equalized values, and so it gives you an idea where we started in '24, where we ended up in '25. We had a market increase of 5.31. We had some new construction of about 1%. So then the overall assessment change was 6.3. And those of you who were here in December, when you were asking me to give you an idea of where we were going to end up, I had told you that we were increasing our true cash or our values for both real and personal at about 6.7. And so we ended up at 6.3. So that's pretty good. Everybody did what they were supposed to do. The next item that I like to point out is on page 44, and this is just interesting because it's your communities, and you can see the average residential true cash values by local unit. So I find it interesting that while we would assume Grosse Pointe Shores is going to have the highest number at 868,005, Washington Township is number 2 at 451. There's a lot of new construction out there, and so that is a rising community for the higher residential values. And then the very last thing is what you guys all like to know for budgeting. And that would be the taxable value change, which is on page 45 in the report, 4.77. And again, back in December, you guys asked me where I thought we would end up. I said CPI was 3.1, so for sure we were going to get there. I like to be conservative, so I said probably 4, 4.5, and look at that, we're at 4.77. So did pretty good. My crystal ball was working that day. Other than that, I would entertain any questions you guys might have about the equalization report.
Great, thank you, Kristen. Let's see your speakers. I've got a couple questions. Not sure if there's anyone else. So the SEV, obviously it's been going up. This is the highest it's been in a number of years. Is this the highest it's ever been?
For us, yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. And then the 1% you said for new construction, is that lower than expected because of the challenges they're dealing with, or is that in line to what we thought it would be?
So I think all of you would maybe be a better indicator of what your expectations were. I'm not really up on all of the permitting processes, but you have to realize south of Hall Road is pretty developed. There's not a whole lot of residential still under construction. I mean, there's pockets, obviously, but, you know, the majority of it has even moved into the north of 24, 25, 26. And then the upper townships, they kind of like where they're at, you know, so they're not ready to do that blast that Macomb Township is doing. Macomb Township is going to end up being one of our biggest communities because they're not anywhere close to being done, and they're already up there right behind Sterling Heights. So, you know, it all depends. I don't really have that kind of a grip on the permits that are being pulled and what is going on out there in regards to the residential, but one is still good. You know, if the whole increase was 6, one was pretty good.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you for the report, Kristen. Any other questions? So please vote.
Excellent.
Motion passes 11-0.
Thank you.
Okay, next is items waived by Finance Audit Budget Committee Chair. This is a budget amendment, the Finance Department for Robert Half for Director of Finance Search Project, and also the contract with Robert Half, Executive Search Practice Group, for the Director of Finance Search Project, not to exceed $45,000. I'll take a motion to approve items 9C through 9D. So moved. Moved by Haas, supported by Wallace. Vicky, Brian?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you for having us here today, Vicky Wolber and Brian Jacks. We are in the process and ready to post for a new director within finance. So the items you have before you are a budget amendment that is needed within the finance department to move $45,000 from our personnel expenses into a contract services expenses. Due to open positions that we still have within the department, we have funding for that. And then in item D, you obviously have the contract with Robert Half that Human Resources and Brian Jackson in particular spent a lot of time on looking at and talking with different companies, and at the end of the day made the decision that Robert Half was the best choice for the county. So I don't know if you want Brian to give a little synopsis of his role and what he did, or if you just like to go into questions. Go ahead, Brian.
Thank you, Vicky. So yes, we posted the position for Director of Finance originally back in October. We did utilize resources that we had through Indeed, LinkedIn, and the GFOA, which is a finance-based government organization that we advertise to. We got about 100 applications. However, during that applicant pool search, we felt that the best route was to go with an executive search firm. We did look at 7 companies, a couple local companies in Michigan, and then some national companies. With those interviews that we had with those companies, we are recommending Robert Half. We have the contract that's before you today. We were able to get them down to the flat rate of $40,000. They originally came in with a 30% on the salary and a $45,000 minimum. However, in speaking with them over the last week, I was able to get them down to the flat rate of $40,000. And Robert Half, as I think many of you probably heard of, Fortune 500 company. They've been in the business for over 75 years. They're number 2 on the Forbes list for executive search firms. I think really it's a way to go for the county with a position as important as this one to recruit.
Great, thank you. Okay, any questions, Commissioners? I'll just say Brian, thank you for beating them up a little bit on the price. That's very helpful. I know when people see these numbers to find someone at this level, it is a pricey search. So I'm glad that they were willing to work with us and come down on prices. Obviously, we need to fill this position, so it's duly noted that we need to get it done ASAP. So thank you for both being here and getting us the contract as soon as possible so we could talk about it today. Seeing no questions on this item, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Thank you.
Okay, next is item waived by our Health and Human Services Committee Chair. This is a budget amendment for Office of Senior Services to the Aging for $21,563. I need a motion to approve.
Support.
Moved by Lucido, supported by Grot. Sheila, how are you?
Good, how are you? Thank you for adding this to the agenda. This is a request to approve a budget amendment to increase the Office of Senior Services for congregate meals, home injury control, which is our Safe at Home program, and our adult day services in the amount of $21,563. These dollars are made available through the American Rescue Plan. We had planned, we didn't realize it was going to be such a short turnaround. Ageways made the decision to push it through a little bit faster, and we have through May 5th to spend out those dollars. So we found that out late Friday afternoon. So again, I appreciate your patience and allowing us to present this today.
Okay, seeing no questions, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Thank you.
Sheila. Okay, next are our committee recommendations for everyone in the audience and watching. These are items that were discussed in committee at great extent, so this will go pretty quick unless there are any additional questions from commissioners on these items. So we'll start with Finance, Audit, Budget Committee recommendations. I'll take a motion to approve 10A.
So move, Perna. Support, VanSyckel.
By Perna, supported by VanSyckel. Any questions? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Okay, next is Internal Services Committee. Next is Internal Services Committee recommendations. I'll take a motion to approve items 11A.
So moved.
Moved by Haas, supported by Romano. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Okay, next is Health and Human Services Committee recommendations. This is a budget amendment for their planning, budget, and contracting. I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Moved by Romano, supported by Lucido. Any questions? Commissioner Lucido?
Yeah, I do believe that Director Cox is here to speak on this item because he wasn't at our meeting.
Yep. Hello, Andrew.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you, Commissioner, for having me come back for the full board presentation. This item is a request for a budget amendment that we've actually requested from the Health Department to actually reduce this grant. This is an infection prevention grant that basically started during COVID times, and at that point, we were very hopeful that it would be able to be used flexible in different ways of needs that we had during COVID times and throughout. Unfortunately, MDHHS really restricted the use of these funds to the point where we really couldn't use these funds in a way that really we needed them to. So this is an actual reduction just due to the fact that the allowable expenses, the allowable expenditures that we could utilize these funds for were nothing that we could really justify the means for. So we felt the need to reduce this grant dollars by $1 million. And then there's a small increase for the MRC, which is our Medical Reserve Corps, in the amount of $3,178, which will just go for additional supplies for that grant program for our medical volunteers that help us out in the health department. Be happy to answer any questions.
I don't see any questions. Andrew, what types of services was the grant specifically for that we initially were going to move forward with?
So initially, this was the thought process was during a lot of this grant was geared towards contact tracing when contact tracing was going on at such a heavy clips and so impactful during COVID that it got to the point where we were hoping that these could be used for other communicable diseases, other contact tracing. But unfortunately, that just wasn't the case when we went back to the state to allow us to use these funds to offset either salary of our existing staff to save county dollars. It had to be tied back into COVID, and we just weren't doing contact tracing anymore. So basically, the whole reason for the funds became negligible, where we really didn't have a use for these funds anymore, unfortunately. And we really tried to work with the state to try to get creative on how could we repurpose these funds for something else, supplies, contact tracing, salaries, even we looked into software upgrades, and none of that was approved, unfortunately.
Thank you. All right, seeing no other questions, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Okay, next is our Public Services Committee recommendations. I'll take a motion to approve 13A through 13P.
Motion.
Support.
Goiki.
Made by Goiki, supported by Grot. Any questions on these items? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Okay, next is our Records and Public Safety Committee recommendations. Item 14A, this is an item to reconsider. I'll take a motion to reconsider.
So moved.
Moved by Haas, supported by Wallace. Any discussion on the reconsideration? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Okay, next I'm going to take, we'll just do this one separately. So I'll take a motion to approve item 14A.
Motion to approve.
Moved by Romano,
Support.
supported by Lucido. And I believe we have, is Nicole here or David here? Not here. She just walked out. She just walked out? Okay. Hopefully there's no additional questions on this, so I don't see any, so please vote to approve.
Motion passes 11-0.
Okay, next I'll take a motion for items 14B through 14F.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Haas, supported by Romano. Any questions on these items? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Next is correspondence. I'll take a motion to receive and file. This is a casual dated recipient thank you letter to the BOC. It's a Grand Life.
So
Motion
moved.
to receive and file.
Moved by Romano, supported by Wallace. Please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
All right, next is our board office update. This is a monthly update by our chief of staff. I need a motion to receive and file.
So moved.
Support.
By Haas, supported by Romano. Crystal?
Good afternoon.
I'll be quick, but I have some big updates as this is our busiest time of the year for events. I'll start with some general office updates. We expect our guide to services to be delivered here in a couple of weeks. We have updated office pamphlets that are available on the shelving next to the mailboxes. Martha T. Berry has invited commissioners for lunch and a tour. Watch for an email from staff to schedule that. They've offered 2 of our July meeting dates, hopefully to make it convenient for commissioners to go and do that before they come here for a meeting. I wanted to mention this. I thought of it after I printed the outlines that were passed out. This year's meeting schedule does not yet include the budget review meetings for fall. Staff is working with Commissioner Kraft on that and the supplemental information that will be requested from departments. So watch for that on the May Finance Audit Budget meeting. The commissioners will be considering those things then. As I mentioned, it's our busiest time of the year for events. Between April 15th and May 1st, we're holding 3 events, and we're in the process of planning a 4th for summer. Volunteer recognition will be held this Tuesday night at the Italian American Cultural Center. You have a packet in front of you that has the invitation that went out to the guests, the program, which those were professionally printed. The ones you have in your stack aren't, but the ones at the event will look nicer. And the summaries that you will read for your volunteers. Those were put together based on the nominations we received. Feel free to edit those if you'd like. Staff will hand you a copy of that when you go up to the podium that night. So if you want any changes, let us know, or make the changes yourself and bring that night. We wanted you to have that ahead of time to review though. And this, commissioners do play an active role in this event. So please let us know if you will not be able to attend so we can plan for somebody else to do your awards. The Green Schools deadline to the schools was on March 1st. We received 77 applications, which are multiple pages. Staff processed all of those applications, read through them, scored them, and got invites out for 2 different events within a matter of a few weeks. The first event is the county event at the MISD on Wednesday, April 23rd that morning. I did leave a draft program for each of you to see. Those haven't been finalized and sent to print yet, but I did want commissioners, especially those who haven't been at the event in the past, to have an idea of what takes place. Please let us know on that event also if you cannot attend, because we do expect the commissioners to be there to hand out their certificates to their schools. The other Green Schools event at the zoo on May 1st is a tri-county event. So the schools and the teachers, they come in the morning and they check in, and then they're free to roam the zoo for the morning. There's a ceremony at 12:15, and because it's a tri-county event with Oakland and Wayne, they do a very brief ceremony where there's just 1 speaker per county. So Chair Sabatini will be speaking for Macomb County. Commissioners are more than welcome to attend, but you don't have to be there. If you want to be on the list for parking and admission, though, let us know if you are coming to that event. The 4th event is our Yoga at the Hill. It'll be our 10th anniversary. That will be held at the end of July, Saturday, July 26th. That registration is now open. We do raffle off prizes in between the classes that morning, and commissioners are asked to consider a donation for that. And I would encourage you to watch our Facebook page, as we will soon reveal our special anniversary t-shirt that we have designed for this year. Some of you may not know, but every year we've done a different color for Yoga at the Hill, so that's always a big draw for the crowd to see what color and what the t-shirt looks like for that year. April's Older Adult Advisory Committee meeting is on Tuesday, April 29th at 3 p.m. This month it will be held here in our room next door. I have the updated constituent management system stats for you since our February full board meeting. I did add a pie chart on the back that breaks down the correspondence from IQ by district. Some of the things Huntry has worked on for us since the March full board include the updates to the website. As I mentioned before, with our programs constantly changing, the deadlines change. We go from a deadline to an RSVP for an event. We announce a new event. Our sliders and websites are always changing. We set a new goal of having a social media post every single day, and we are almost there. We had 27 posts since the March full board, which was a 100% increase. They covered the state of Shelby Township for us and the Older Adult Advisory Committee meeting in Clinton Township, where they put together a cool reel that was posted on social media. They also recorded the first commissioner community clip, so that's being edited, and we'll probably see that being posted later this month. They updated the office pamphlet that I mentioned is available now on the shelves. They're working on the May newsletter. We used to have handout cards for individual commissioners, so they're working on redesigning that. And they created all of our promotion for Yoga at the Hill, updated the webpage, created the Facebook event, the first post, and have scheduled reminder posts. Lastly, I have some action items for commissioners. As I mentioned, for volunteer recognition in Green Schools, please let us know if you can't be there so we can plan accordingly. And please continue to think about ideas for your community clips. We have 3 commissioners who have either scheduled or recorded their videos so far. And with spring and summer coming up, there are a lot of parades that I know commissioners participate in and local fairs. So that might be an idea if you want to schedule Huntry to come out when you're going to be marching in a parade or attending a fair. That might be a good event that you want to highlight for your community. So we're just trying to keep thinking of ideas for you. If you need help coming up with ideas, let us know and we can work with you on that also. That's everything I have on my list.
Okay, any questions for Crystal? Seeing none. Crystal, just great job with the report and our team. Obviously, our staff is busy right now with all the events that we're working through here, so please follow up, as Crystal stated, just so that we're prepared for all of our events. Okay, please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Okay, next is public participation. This is the opportunity for public participation for those who would like to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes on any issue. Would anyone from the public like to speak? Just come right to the podium and just state your name. You have 3 minutes.
My name is Paul Schorsch. I live at 38057 Moravian Drive, Clinton Township, Michigan. And I'm going to ask you guys a few questions. The one main question here is, when are we going to get rid of these bad voting machines that we're voting on? In our election in Clinton Township, Jim Perna's daughter, she went to vote on a voting machine. It did fail. All right. They got to go. All right. She came out. The machine was bad. They got rid of it. They brought in another machine. These things are failing. All right. We got to get rid of them. Hand count, paper ballot, precinct level. Now, they did change our precinct. I'm precinct 12 now. And the citizens, we the people, we deserve better. We live on a road, I call it Moravian madness. This road is so bad, it is now a safety, dangerous issue. All right, I'm gonna give this to Jim. The road on the passengers, on the side, on the edge of the road is completely gone. Last year, Macomb County painted over the potholes. I want you guys all to take a good look at this picture, because there's accidents like crazy on this road. It's catastrophic. It's a high-speed road. People are doing like 55. The speed limit's 45. But take a good look at this picture. We're not fixing the roads. We're painting over the potholes. I don't want us to be painting over the potholes. All right? This is for Jim. All right, here's another road. We just closed the road down. We don't even fix it. This is a 25-mile road, just west of, east of Romeo Plank. We got to fix this stuff. Let's not spend our money testing our sewage for COVID-19, $1.19 million. Let's fix some stuff. We got serious problems, all right? All right, now listen. Those of you that aren't with the real Republican Party, get with it right now, because this is going to be a long, hot summer, all right? And we need to support our president. We got a lot of stuff to clean up. In Macomb County, Listen, I'm part of the Lotus Stanley investigation in Clinton Township.
You have 30 seconds.
All right, one quick thing here. We had a meeting about the altered voting voter case. The Clinton Township Police were an hour late. You know why? Homicide. Homicide is up 84% in central Michigan. All right? I don't want to see this stuff going on. We got to clean up Macomb County. All right, please. This is an emergency situation right here. Thank you very much. And thank these citizens for coming here. I greatly appreciate all you people. All right, here you go, Jim.
Anyone else from the public like to speak?
You know what? You drive on that road.
We have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon. My name is Fred Neenstead, Clinton Township, 41362 Justin Drive. I need to speak about election integrity. AV, right? Absent voter ballots being mailed out unknowingly to different people. Maybe even now, according to Secretary of State Benson, non-citizens. We have to have control of the qualified voter list, right? We can't have ballots going out to unknown addresses. There has to be a very thorough inspection of the qualified voter list. Each clerk is responsible individually. We need to have a very strong understanding of where these ballots are going. Remember, there's a May 6th election in some communities. A ballot that does not have a ballot stub attached can be counted. Why should we allow this even for one election? A May 6th election may seem like it's nothing, but to the community that has a bond proposal or something very serious for their schools, they really want to have a free and fair election, not something that is distorted because there is the possibility of fraudulent voting. We cannot have this. It cannot even be considered as possible, but yet here we are today counting ballots that don't have ballot stubs attached. How can this happen? Will the commission actually ask questions of the clerk's office to see what the likelihood is? Was there any kind of a report of remarks written down from individual occurrences? What actually happened in Warren and Roseville? How did those machines get reset? We have to have a better understanding. Is there a report from the clerk to the chair or to the commission? Does anybody know if there is a comprehensive understanding of just how bad this qualified voter file is? 108%. Now we're adding 16-and-a-half-year-olds and 17-year-olds to the
You have
voter
30
rolls.
seconds.
I can't see their names. They're not adults. Please, you have to take a very serious look at election integrity. Perhaps you've seen some of the testimony at the state legislature. It's very compelling. Mr. Ramon Jackson has a very clear story to tell about how elections in Detroit are run. Is that the way you want elections even remotely close to this possibility of fraudulent voter files in our elections? I want to see the voter history. I want to know what a person moving into Macomb County did voting in Wayne County. Thank you very much. Thank you, Fred.
Ladies and gentlemen of the board, Andy McKinnon, 41523 Glockamora. I believe Commissioner Perna knows my particular birthday. I just wanted to come up again and say thank you. I think this is the second or third time I've done so since this current administration is here leading this board. Yesterday, had a communication with Crystal Richardson about an item that was going to go on the board today. Not something that we want to make a practice of, but time was important for us. Between leaving yesterday morning and coming back yesterday afternoon, that was taken care of by our staff. and your extraordinary staff here at the Board of Commissioners. It was not an easy lift, and as you just heard, Crystal is in the middle of a busy season with Crystal and your staff is in the middle of a busy season with all sorts of different things that they have to do, and they dropped everything to take care of that for us. And then, of course, this board supported it unanimously. So thank you very much. Really appreciate the improved communication and look forward to continuing to have that with you all as we go into this upcoming year. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Anyone else from the public like to speak? Going once, twice. We'll close public participation. Next is other board and commission updates. Commissioner Wallace.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that came out to the MAC conference. I know it was different, but I did warn you guys that it was going to be different. I hope you would consider coming in the fall. We will be in Traverse City. I will be inducted as president there, but I need to get revoted into MAC first, and then I'll be inducted if you guys show up to vote for me. But we do have some changes that will be made because the breaks have to be longer. I was not able to sit through the whole thing, through the conference, but there will be some more additional changes made. But I just wanted to say thank you for showing up, and I hope that we will see you in the fall at the next conference. Thank you.
Commissioner Grot.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to thank the executive for appointing me for the SEMCOG. And I want to thank all of you for confirming and voting for me. I appreciate it. I will try to do my best. And the conference was really informative. I left few paperwork from the conference in our hallway. Feel free to take it. I think the chairman has more copies. Maybe the staff can, make it for the rest of us. It's very, very good information. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Yeah, just to kind of follow up, I thought MAC was really interesting. So we got some good information. We will follow up with everyone and send you the information that we received at the conference so you all can take a look at it. Also, we had our Supreme Court hearing was also yesterday, so many of us also attended that while we were in Lansing, so that was certainly an interesting experience. Our counsel, obviously, here today was there yesterday, so it was interesting to see him in action there. But all around, it's been 90 days now since I've been in this seat. It's been an interesting 90 days to say the least, so I've been meeting with all of you individually. I've done that. My other goal was to meet with all of our countywides one-on-one, along with Vice Chair Haw, and we were able to accomplish that goal as well. So my next goal now is to take all that information, work with our staff, and then follow all up with you to kind of tell you what I learned and also what the next steps will be going forward with our countywides and with our commissioners here. So all in all, it was a very good experience, and I'm glad that I did it, and more to come. So Commissioner Romano.
I think hopefully I speak for the rest of the board when I say you've said it's been 90 days. If this first 90 days is any indication of how Chair Sabatini is going to proceed, I think we're going to be in a very good position, and I think we're going to be in a very stable position. And I want you to know that I personally appreciate, and I think the rest of the board does too. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Also, Mr. Hall, we'll put you in there too, Harold.
Thanks, Joe.
He's done a fabulous job. He really has. Seeing no other comments there, we'll move on to commissioner comments. No commissioner comments. Commissioner Goyke.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wanted to make a quick comment, maybe to the audience a little bit. Just for some clarification, we all know we need local roads done. There is legislation in Lansing right now working on just local road funding only. So let's hopefully get with our state reps and state senators and that we can get that stuff passed to work on it. And just a clarification, because, we might not like where some of the money's going, like that $1.9 million, that can't just magically be moved over to roads. You know, everything is where the monies are allocated, that's the way it has to be spent, such as your sales tax. Almost 4 cents of the 6 cents does go to the school budget. And then you have the other part of the sales tax going to the local communities. Just different things. If you constitutionality, you just can't move money where you want. Money can't stay in. So just to make a little bit of clarity, but our legislators are working on that for us to get more local road money done, which we all know is necessary and we all want it to happen. So, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other commissioner comments? Seeing none, I'll take a
Motion to adjourn?
Moved by Romano, supported by Wallace. Please vote.
Have a great Easter, huh? We're gonna be here for, we won't be here for Easter.
Motion passes 11 to 0.